Good evening, everyone. I am Samela Barr. I don't know if a lot of you remembered me. I'm radio, started out here in King Street, and still been with radio until I came down with COVID. And I am a COVID survivor. Amen. I was sick, actually in the hospital for about a total of 3 months, in a coma. Came through rehab and everything, and thank God I'm getting back to where I'm going, slowly but surely, and we give God the praise for that. On today, we'd like to also take a moment and we want to thank someone. You know, people come into your lives and they do things for you constantly, and a lot of times we tend to forget the little things, and those little things are very, very important in life. Just remember, you know, this is the time we look at it and we say, oh, gifts and we buy this, we buy that. But then we need to realize the one most important thing is God did this for us all. It's all about God. It's all about Him. Secondly, I want to take time and thank a good friend of mine. And I wanted him to be recording because had he not been recording, he probably would have skipped out on us. T.Y. had a birthday on yesterday, for you all that don't know it. Celebrated his birthday on yesterday, and
happy birthday.
Thank you. Sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear T.Y. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Now, T.Y.'s done a lot for us all, have you not? Let's give him a round of applause. There you go. I'll tell you what, T.Y.'s came into my life. I've known T.Y. for many, many years. And I'm not going to even go into a story, but I can say there's been a time when I was at my lowest, and he had no idea, and he stepped in and helped me out. And I never forgot that, you know, because, you say people do things for you, you think it's big, it's large, but you can do the smallest thing, and it can mean the greatest thing of life for you. And without that going any further ado, we have some friends here that wants to say some things about T.Y. And T.Y. don't stop recording. We have Miss Sandra Coates, and we're going to ask her to come up and say a few things. We have his son, Mr. Ashton Williams. Mr. Billy Jenkinson is going to be in here. And
He's here.
Okay.
Right here.
Oh, God. Okay, Mr. Jenkinson is here. He's going to say a few things about T.Y. And we had a few other people that were going to make it, but some things came up with them. The mayor of Lake City was going to be here, but he has a funeral he's attending. Mr. B. Horton was going to be here, but he took a flu shot and he's not feeling 100%, so he said he's going to pass. But right now we're going to have Ms. Coates, Mr. Jenkinson. Of course, he's here with his lovely bride, and I'm going to let them tell us a little bit about T.Y. and his son, Mr. Ashton. No one knows him better, I'm sure, than the son. And we're going to get him to say a few things about it. And we ask you to just sit back and just listen to this a few moments and learn a little bit about T.Y., the man that's behind the recordings, that don't want to be seen and does not really want to have that much acknowledgement thrown on him. But, we got to realize that we got to give praise where praise is due while we are here, and we can do it. A lot of times we talk good about people when they're dead, but guess what? They don't know anything about that. The time to do it is while they're here. So T.Y., I appreciate you for everything you've done for me and my family, and we love you very much. And my baby saying, and her. All right, Ms. Coates, Mr. Ashton, Mr. Jenkinson, and if we have a few other people here, we're going to let you give a chance to speak something about T.Y. as well.
Well, first of all, praise the Lord. I'm here. I almost got lost, but for T.Y., I will do anything. I met T.Y. about 5 years ago, and the first thing I needed was his help, and that was because I locked my keys in my car. Brand new car, didn't know what to do, one key. T.Y. found a way to get in it. I tried to pay T.Y., he would not take a dime, and I had just met him. T.Y. decided that he had a vision for Christian news. And being the man that he is, he asked me, come along with me. And I was scared. I said no. And he has been an inspiration to me. He has told me, don't sweat the small stuff. If you've been where I've been, you wouldn't worry. He's right. The other thing, my husband got sick, and I always told my husband, if you're ever in trouble, call T.Y. Well, 4 o'clock in the morning, T.Y. was called to come to emergency in Kingstree, South Carolina, and he said a man named George called him. He said he didn't know who George was, but they called him 4 o'clock in the morning. They must know me, he said. Well, sure enough, it was my husband. T.Y. got him set up and settled at home. He is like a brother to me, and I have much love for you, T.Y. Thank you so very much for being who you are, and God bless you.
Wow, wow, wow. I could be here about an hour, but I promise I won't do that. For my history with T.Y. goes back to when he was 9 years old. Lived a half a block from my parents, and my dad needed a little bit of help in the yard, and next thing I knew, T.Y. about moved in. You could go there at supper time, and they would be eating supper. And then after supper, he'd be doing his homework, and my daddy would be helping him with his homework. And he literally became a member of the family as his whole family. They only lived a half a block away. And his mama and his brothers and sisters and all became a part of our family, and we became a part of theirs in every sense of the word. If I'm lying, I'm dying right now. Fast forward. T.Y. gets out of school, and the words of him being an entrepreneur are fair. Because he does have a vision, and he takes the talent that he has and can turn it into money. He can turn it into happiness. He can turn it in, and I've never seen him down. I've been with him through the good and the bad, and he's never been down. You can't put him down. And he had a nightclub. The deck fell in with a bunch of people and got hurt. He was right there for them. Nobody bothered him. And we took care of that problem, and he got through that storm. And he got through a lot of other storms in his life, but he always came out on top. When, not long ago, I guess it was 4 or 5 years ago, he said, I need something else to do. And he said, what should I do? And I reached in my pocket and I said, he said, what you mean? I said, Facebook. What are we doing right now?
Facebook.
He said, tell me about it. And I did. Next thing I knew, he was on fire. And the fire has been getting bigger and bigger ever since. He's had over 100,000 people views. Look at some he's done in the last 2 weeks, and I think he's had almost 200,000 views. That's unheard of. That is unheard of. And he goes all about our community and our people, as you know. Y'all see Christian News, T.Y. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But he volunteers to help people out, to get the message out, and truly becomes the spokesperson for Williamsburg County.
Amen.
All right.
That's right. Amen. That's right. Yeah.
So, I could tell you not a lot of other wonderful stories, but I don't need to go there. This is his day, and he lost his mama about a month, about 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But that didn't get him back. And I told him, I said, why? Yesterday, I said, go to your mama's grave and put some flowers on that grave and thank her for having you. And don't ever not do that again, because he always puts flowers on my parents' graves, like at Easter and other times, and it's time for you to take care of your mama and put some flowers on her grave, because she did a great job when she had you and all her children. And she did a wonderful job. So all I can say is, for me and all of our family, we talked to some of them coming out here, tell me about the party. We said, we're just getting there. I can't tell you about it yet. They're all waiting to hear. And they all had one message. Happy birthday, T.Y.
All right. Beautiful.
Well, I wasn't prepared to speak today, but since I'm here, I might as well speak.
That's right.
All right.
You know, when I look at my dad would call me every day. He always started with a prayer. Let's do a prayer before he do anything. And to this day, he still does that. Every time he called me, let's pray. He always put God first, and that's one thing I love with my dad. One thing I want to say with my dad, he's the kind of person, I heard a quote, he gives sight to the blind, he educates the uneducated. What do I mean about that? My dad came home, I remember he was talking about, he said, son, when I come home, I'm going to be big. And I didn't know he was going to do Christian News TY. But he had a vision. He gave sight. I couldn't see it at that moment, but he saw it. And I tell you what, he has a saying, he'll put his finger in the ground and turn the world around. He did that. And I saw as he started out with a phone, then I think we bought a little camera you can record. And he took what he had. He started where he was at with what he had and made something out of nothing. And I tell my dad I'm always so proud of him because I remember as he faced challenges and things like that, I always tell my dad, I said, you know what? The best revenge is massive success. And that's what he have had and has. You know, I think about when he came here to King Street, he started doing the Christian News TY, he started doing the different events. Nobody was doing it. I haven't seen nobody do it.
Nobody done it.
Exactly.
And I like to say the world that we live in is going from brick and mortar to click and order. What does that mean? There's no more, you walk in buildings and everything now is video. And he saw that vision. And he started, recording different events. Matter of fact, I was on Facebook the other day and I saw a guy, one of my Facebook friends, he was recording a video. I called my dad and the young lady said, what are you doing? He said, are you working or are you recording? And he said, I guess I'm TYYY News. So what does that mean? Even the young and the old, they know about you. They know about Christian News TY. They know about, if I want to be informed of what's going on in the community, I can just pull out my phone and I can see what's going on.
That's right.
That's very important.
That's
I live
right.
all the way in Columbia. But from that video, I can see things that's happening. From my understanding, there has been cases have been solved from Christian News TY.
That's right.
Amen.
So
That's right.
the point that I'm trying to make is he saw the vision. He kept his eyes on the prize. And that's very important. And I don't want to be up here all day to talk. I can talk about so many different things. But my dad always taught me as far as, he like to say, you can't, how do you say that thing? Fly like an eagle, thinking
Can't
like
fly
a chicken.
with an eagle, thinking like a chicken.
Thinking like a chicken. There you go. so anytime I have a little challenge, he say, wait a minute now, you got to be an eagle. You can't be a chicken. You got to be an eagle. So I always remember that. And it's those kind of things that get me through life. And all these different sayings and things that I don't even know how he even come up with it.
Right.
But, it's just the talent and the gift and the entrepreneur that he always had in himself. So I'm just happy to be here. No other place I'd rather be than be here today to help celebrate you and all the lives that you are changing. One more thing I want to say, and I'm going to let you guys go. I remember being in Columbia. My dad, it'd be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You never know when he's coming. But if there's a fire, trust and believe me, he coming out of it. If the car is breaking down, if he say he's going to be there, he's going to be there. You can bet your bottom dollar. And I just appreciate all the times you have been there for me, whether it's over the phone, whether it's being there in person, it just meant the world. So thank you so much. I'm just happy to be here. Thank y'all.
Is there anybody else want to say anything, or is it all, that's it for right now? Okay, before I actually turn this back over to hands, we sort of, when we asked the people, made a few phone calls and asked a few people to come out, we had, Mr. Horton wanted to give you a card, TY, and he wanted you to have this, and he said to tell you happy birthday, and that he's so sorry that he could not be here, but he sent you his love. And we want you to know we love you, TY, and I want to ask everybody here, if you don't know of Christian News TY, follow him, click him, like him, just find the page and go for it and support him and share it. Because the vision is there, he's already planted the seed. All these is just more watering, And let's get behind our very own, push him, pray for him, because as the son says, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, not only is he out in fires, he's out covering wrecks and shootings and houses that's on fire. And I mean, he'll call me sometime and he'll go, "You asleep?" And I'm like, "No, I'm at this fire and I'm at this right here." And I'm like, "Lord have mercy, do you ever rest?" But support Christian News TY. Make that something that you go to and you look at, like, share, and tell your friends about it. Because word of mouth is very strong. And, you know, as long as you get out there and pass something good out about a person, very few times it's going to get out like wildfire. But anyway, let's try to put it out there and get the support of the people that's there for him. Because without your support, we none can make it. And I thank y'all very much, TY. I love you.
I love you.
And this is the first time I've been out of my house and not at a doctor's office, so you know I love you, since I've been in the hospital. So we wish you many more birthdays. And Mr. Martin, thank you so very much for having me. And to all of you, get you something to eat, and thank you all for coming out. Very much, we appreciate it.
We'd like to thank everybody for coming out. We have enjoyed, I know I have enjoyed the singing and everything. And we don't know, this year has been a very difficult year for us. And we've lost members in the community, and across the nation there have been millions that have lost their life. But he's still good, and he's worthy of all the praise. And in spite of what the enemy may try, we still gonna give him the honor and all the praise.
Again, happy birthday, Mr. TY. And we just thank everybody for coming, participating, all who've done. All of us who knew about it, we brought cards and mementos for you as well. We will share that with you. And we closed out the other part of the program. All of you at this time. Good to see you.
Thank you.
The facts remain the same. God is good. Turn down the bass, push that button, and follow us. My name is T.
Wow, wow, wow. I could be here about an hour, but I promise I won't do that.